Chris Hall, South Dakota Game Fish and Parks. I'm here with Conservation Officer Jeff Edwards. Jeff's stationed out in western South Dakota, and as you can see, we've got a deer here. In the coming year, we've got a lot of changes, Jeff, about especially in the Black Hills, about when you got a deer down or you're hunting, you can and can't take a vehicle about that or around there. How's that going to impact hunters?
Well, you know, actually for some hunters this is actually going to improve their quality and adventure of the hunt. And I don't really look at it, it's going to be limiting to people that are used to using the vehicle and associating the vehicle with the hunt. But what we really want to do, and this is a timely time to make a video like this, is we actually want to encourage people, give them the information, and help build their confidence that you can take a deer like this or any other big game quarry, and it doesn't matter how far you go from the pickup or where you end up. Once you get an animal down, we want to show you I want to show you a couple things here today on how to take this animal apart, get it on your back, which is about the least strenuous method besides dragging for a mile or trying to game cart, you know, through the downfall of the woods or whether you're in the Badlands. But I want to give you the confidence to take this animal apart, put it on your back, and create some absolutely fantastic table fare in the process.
And this doesn't only apply, this is going to teach people not only in the Black Hills, but we've got some big chunks of school and public land, big chunks of walk-in area where you can't use a vehicle to go get one. So, and it's something that I don't know how to do, and I've been hunting my whole life, so maybe maybe we're going to help some people out in that process too.
Well, you know, and I don't look at this process as just being limited to western South Dakota. I even use this process, and other hunters use this process, even in eastern South Dakota. Even though you might only be hunting a section, it might be in an area that's inaccessible to a four-wheeler to retrieve, you know, your big game. Yeah. It's in a cattail slough. Hike back to the truck, take it apart, put it on your frame pack. You might have to make 2 trips, but for one thing, you already have the hide off the animal, the meat's already cooling and releasing heat. This is all the same stuff you're going to have to do when you get it home to your garage or even when you take it to the processor. Let's get it done right now while it's on the ground. Let's get the heat out of it, and we're going to enjoy this meat down the road, and so let's take care of it right now.
Yep. So, well, I guess we got some work to do, huh?
Yes, we do.
Awesome. Let's get to work. For a big game hunter, we've got a deer down out in the middle of nowhere, and I can't drive to it. Other than my knife that I'm going to use to normally gut out a deer, what else do I need?
I would just smile at this point because you're going to be able to take apart this deer with full confidence with the things that you already have as a big game hunter, with the exception might be this external frame. Now this external frame is going to allow you to put, you know, 20 pounds of meat on it, but I've had up to 110 pounds of meat on this, and this is a Cabela's Alaskan Guide series frame. They cost $100. They're fantastic. It weighs about 6 pounds. I also have some internal packs and various things, but normally for a South Dakota hunter that's hunting, you know, deer and antelope, really just your day and a half pack, you're going to be able to easily put 40 pounds of raw meat in this, as long as you don't have too much stuff in here. So generally for just an antelope hunt, I'm probably carrying this. If I plan to take 2 animals, which I have taken,
quite possible,
taken both deer, taken both antelope, I'm generally taking my frame. I'm taking this just with some lightweight stuff, some extra food and water. That's on here. When I make a kill, I'm actually loading this down with meat, putting this on the top. But you know, in most cases, most hunters are going to want to, you know, keep the weight at about under 50 pounds.
Sure.
So let me show you a couple of the essentials. Chemical gloves, $2 a pair, size 9, size 10, fits most adult hands. Why I like these, even when it's freezing cold, I slip these on. I keep the blood off my hands. As soon as I'm done, I take them off. Other people have used the light latex gloves, but they get holes, they rip easy. Meat thermometer. I'm always interested in the quality of my meat. I want to get the meat down below 40 degrees as fast as I can.
Yep.
Right now, an animal that's just died, it's 100 degrees and it's going to stay in that state until you get the organs out of it or until you take the hide off so that you can start releasing the heat out of the meat tissue. And in that process, if you're interested in what temperature your meat is, Ace Hardware, $3. I've got my marking pen. I don't mess around with pens that don't write. When it comes time when it comes time to void my license and acknowledge that I've made a kill, I sign it with the black Sharpie. I take a knife and I'll scribe out or notch out my dates of kill. If I'm just going to gut the animal, I love the little Sagan saw for opening up the rib cage and opening the pelvis. We're not going to do that process today, but it's one of those pieces of equipment I love. Always have a headlamp or two. I'm caught out in the dark all the time. A lot of other hunters are.
Yep.
These don't weigh anything. They hardly take any batteries. I've used one of these for a solid week before replacing the batteries. What else do I have? A tape measure. In this case, this is a whitetail buck, and if I was interested to keep this whitetail buck for a shoulder mount, then I'm going to take a couple of simple measurements that I'll show you so that your taxidermist isn't going to be offended when you just bring him ahead with the cape. Because you can do this. 99 cents, and last, you know, you always want to keep a sharp knife. It's a lot easier to take something apart when your knife is very sharp. So I've just got a diamond sharpener. It's very small and compact. Okay, knives. Lots of people make great knives. I've have buck knives, I've got skinning knives, I've got caping knives, but frankly, my knife of choice is the butcher's knife. Just a Victorinox knife such as this with a 6-inch blade. I can take this animal apart. I've got a fine sharp point so that I can skin this animal very easily. This also sharpens extremely easy, and it's a little bit more flexible.
Yep.
This is my preferred knife over everything else that I have for taking something apart in quick, short order. Something else, after I take the hide off, because I want this meat to start cooling, I like the Cabela's Alaskan game bags. Lots of other game bags out there. It's a cheesecloth material, it's lightweight. With one deer, frankly, I can probably do everything I need with just 2 of these bags because I'm going to cut them in half. But this is nice because this is going to allow heat, and it's going to allow the meat to breathe, which is what we want. We're not going to be trapping it in plastic bag or heavy canvas. And then when I'm ready to pack out, I'm putting my quarters that were in the game bags, I'm putting them into a pillowcase. And this further is going to keep stuff from getting dirty, because if you can keep the sand and the grass off of this after we've skinned it, when you get home, you're not trying to get rid of that stuff. And so let's get ready to take this animal apart. This is going to be fun. Cool.